Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Prepping and Survival. I just let this older red hen out of the teenage pen because she finally laid another egg, so it tells me she's not trying to set anymore. So we'll see if she reacquires her dominance in the adult pen or not. But that rooster is show after. But anyway, I got 3 eggs out of the adults today, which means the only one that didn't lay is the black tip hen that's been setting, and it's past time for her to be setting. So I don't think she's going to have any hatch, which is disappointing considering I candled them and they were growing. So anyway, and then the other older red hen here laid an egg over here in the nesting box, so that's a good thing. Why she's getting up in that nesting box, I don't know. I'm sure it was her that laid an egg because it's a full-size egg. Usually when they start out with smaller eggs. So anywho, I'll let the older female back in with the other adults, and all the other chickens want out, but I can't let them all out at one time. The males will just fight and hens will peck each other, and so boy, I'll be glad when that white one starts getting her feathers back. The brown one looks a little rough, but boy, that white one looks terrible. That molting is bad, but either way, the babies are looking pretty. We'll see how it works out. But I've already fed the cats up there. I cut most of the grass yesterday, so I may get on the mower and finish. Looks like we might get some rain, I don't know. I'll walk up here and check Sparky's waterer and feed. Apologize, it's been a really long day. I was probably aiming the camera at the ground for much longer than absolutely necessary. Hey, Sparky. Sit. 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 Good boy. Good boy. See, I sit, Daddy. I sit. Good boy. Let's see how much food is in there. I got another, yeah. He's still got 2 or 3 days worth before I need to fill it back up, but I got a new 50-pound bag in there, so. Whew. I don't know if you can tell, but I need to cut the field side over yonder. Everything else is done. She's already ate all that she wants because I done fed both them. The boy cat's still eating. There's another calico. Little cat that's skinny. That runs around, and he comes up here and eats every now and then. He will finish whatever these 2 cats don't eat. And I want to see if this lake back here, the water finally dried up from the leak, because I slowed it down yesterday. Couldn't get it apart to change the washers, but I slowed it down and put a metal Y on there that shut it off. So looks like the water is drying up, which is a good thing because it had a pretty good leak on it. As you can tell, I've cut all the way over to about 8 feet past the edge of the house. Still haven't finished putting the tower together. I've got the last 2 sections to go. I'm gonna come out here and just look around. Drop box still sitting there. Alright, well, everything looks alright. That tire doggone looks like it's getting flat. And it wasn't flat. Yeah, it's leaking. So, Valvesten didn't seal good yesterday. I guess I need to pump that tire up. But everything else seems to be fine. It's done caught. I emptied the bumblebee trap or carpenter bee trap. It's got 2 in it, I think. It's done caught 2 more. Everything else looks good. So I was just gonna do a little quick mini farm update, guys. I know Monday's video's already come out. Tuesday's video will be out in the morning because this is Monday evening. So there's already one I've uploaded for Tuesday morning. So this one may just be a Wednesday if I get time. Either way, I'm going to keep tinkering around if I don't keep having days like today. Boy, that older hen has been chasing that white one. She bowed up at her to begin with. She ain't going to get away with that but once. Maybe the teenagers will get off the roof now that the older hen's not in there. It's funny how they were raised together, but they want to act like they don't know each other when they've been in pens and can see each other the whole time. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, guys. It's the easy way to store food. Worst case scenario, I can leave the gate open and clip their wings and let them scratch and forage a lot more and let them eat less feed. And even if necessary, take the extra roosters and turn them loose outside the fence and let them forage out here. If that's what I had to do until it's time to process them. Roosters help let the hens know when there's a threat. You see a bird fly over and you listen to that rooster, he'll make a noise and the hens will go to running. I don't know how they do it, but they keep an eye on that sky. But either way, there's old rabbit. Look at that hen chasing her. Old rabbit sitting right down there. Let's see if I can zoom in. I told my daughter that rabbit's there just about every day. You see it sitting right at the edge of that scuppling vine, right dead center of the screen. Let me back out a little bit. Yeah, it gets real shaky when I zoom in like that. It's just eating grass. Y'all see it? There you go. That's a good shot. Now that's about 20 yards away when I zoom back out. Either way, I believe I could put my trap out here, a little feed, and catch that rabbit. And most likely it's a female. Look at the size of that pair. Bunch of them are that size on this tree. It doesn't have as many as it did a year before last, but it's got a bunch of big ones. It's just about time to pick them. But I plan on going by Lowe's and get some root starter and do some cuttings off the 2 apple trees and off the fig trees, especially the blueberry bushes. Since those 2 did so well this year, I want to do a dozen or more cuttings, maybe 2 dozen of cuttings off the blueberry bushes and try to get them to get roots and then plant more like I had out here. And maybe even start a couple more pear trees over on the field side. And of course I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 peach trees altogether, so I may try to root some of those and see if they'll start. Either way, guys, just keep doing what you can. Keep prepping as best you can. I know with that fuel distillery or whatever refinery fire a week ago, I know gas prices have went up a little bit. But guys, if you can store fuel, if you have a way to do it safely, excuse me, and store some for emergency use, whether it be for your generator as a backup or your tillers and mowers and tractors, whatever. If you've got a way to store fuel, it's a real good time to go ahead and get it done, because I think if it's still an if World War III breaks out, the dollar's already collapsing. Fuel prices are going to go through the roof. They're paying $10 a gallon in England So, it's, you know, whatever happens there first and then comes here. That's what the old saying is. But either way, I think having some extra fuel on hand for emergencies is always a good thing. Just keep it rotating, keep it stored properly. As y'all know, I've got 50 gallons right there. Let's see if I can open this generator. I don't know if y'all can see in there, but let's see. You can't tell. Let's see if I can get the light to come on. There you go. It's about 3/4 of a tank still. This thing will run about, good Lord, I want to say 12, 13 hours or so off of one tank of gas. And you don't have to run it constant. You know, for me, the biggest thing is to be able to run the well to keep water supply going. But I've got those 2 gallons jugs out there and these barrels full of fresh drinkable water. I know it takes an hour and a half to fill up the 550 gallon containers over there. It takes about 7 to 8 minutes to fill up each barrel. So I could probably run the generator 2 hours once a week and have more water than I will ever need. So if you take the fuel I've got stored and break it down in increments of 2 hours runtime on the generator, you know, 2 hours per week. It's 6 gallon tank, I believe, so that means it's what? I ain't done the math and it's been too long a day and too tired, but either way, if you get 12 hours runtime off of 6 gallons, you're using half a gallon an hour. So that doesn't sound right. 2 hours, but that ain't right. It can't be right. But anyway, figure out how long you can run your generator. But remember, you only need to run your backup power, like for refrigerator and freezers, to keep all that frozen and cold. It's best to run in about an hour every, you know, morning early, and then about an hour every evening, so that every 12 hours or so it's running and keeping things frozen and cold. You might want to do it 3 times a day instead of twice, but to keep a freezer frozen, if you're not in and out of it a bunch of times a day, an hour twice a day is plenty. So if you running, you know, like me, if you're running the well while the generator's running to keep your freezers and stuff frozen, and you're doing your larger power demand loads at the same time, you can get a lot more accomplished while that thing's running. So you're getting more things done for that gallon of fuel that you're burning. So, you know, you're not going to get more than a year, year and a half, 2 years max out of gas storage if it's non-ethanol. If it's got ethanol in it, you're probably looking at 3 to 6 months max if it's got ethanol in it. The only way to keep it any longer than that would be to, you know, have a way to stir it to keep it mixed up and keeps them stable in there. So, you know, plan for that as well. But either way, guys, I appreciate y'all listening to me ramble and looking at the chickens and the cats and the dogs, and I do appreciate y'all watching the videos. We've got a lot on the schedule as far as for me this week at work, so it's going to be some days that are going to be a little tough, like today being a 10.5-hour day. But, you know, it's all right. We'll get it beat. That rabbit is still there. It moved a little further over, but it's still there. But either way, guys, I hope you're prepping. Good luck on what you're doing. Remember, the 2 things I always tell you is more important than anything else. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared. Guys, if you hadn't hit the subscribe button, what you waiting on? It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is sign in. Doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us small channel content providers so very much, and we appreciate it. Y'all be safe.